Welcome to People's Journal Stories. Marcus was simply clearing out his grandfather's old house until he saw a blue envelope fall from the cupboard. The address on it dated back 60 years. The postage was only 5 cents. But inside, the letter would change the entire history of their family. Have you ever stumbled upon a hidden family secret? Write it in the comments. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be heard, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This is a story about the power of silence and how letters that are never sent can echo across generations. Marcus Williams was 28 years old, a graphic designer living in Toronto. When he was little, they used to do puzzles together, but Benjamin never told stories. Marcus always felt there was a curtain hiding his grandfather's past. His grandfather, Benjamin Thompson, had passed away last month at the age of 89. Marcus loved him deeply, but Benjamin had always been a distant man. Benjamin's house was a small bungalow in Scarborough. He had lived in the same place for 40 years. Marcus and his mother Patricia had come to clear it out. The house was simple. Old furniture, a few photographs, not many belongings. "Dad was never a hoarder," said Patricia. "Everything is so neat, so clean." While emptying the old cupboard in the living room, Marcus pulled down some books from the top shelf. A few English novels, a German dictionary, and an old Catholic Bible. As he placed them into a box, a blue envelope slipped out from between the pages of the dictionary. The envelope was old, yellowed. On it was a handwritten address: Mrs. Elizabeth Müller, Hauptstrasse, 42, Heidelberg, Germany. Marcus turned the envelope around. In the top right corner was a Canada Post 5-cent stamp, but it had never been postmarked. It had never been sent. "Mom, you might want to see this," Marcus said. Patricia took the envelope and examined it. "This is my father's handwriting. But I've never seen this address before. Who is this Elizabeth Müller?" "I have no idea. Your father never spoke about Germany." Marcus wanted to open the envelope but hesitated. This could be a private letter. "Your grandfather has passed away, Marcus. And this has been sitting here for 60 years. I don't think it needs to remain a secret anymore." Marcus carefully opened the envelope. Inside were 3 handwritten pages. The date, October 15th, 1964. The letter was written in German. Marcus couldn't read the letter, but some words looked familiar. "Liebe Elizabeth," "Dear Elizabeth," and at the bottom, "Benjamin." "Do you know German?" he asked his mother. "No, but my neighbor Greta does." "Let's ask her." Greta Hoffman was 75 years old, a German immigrant. She had come to Canada in the 1960s and had been Benjamin's neighbor. When she opened the door for them, she looked surprised. "I'm so sorry I couldn't attend Benjamin's funeral," she said. "But why have you come with a letter in German?" Patricia explained the situation. Greta took the letter, put on her glasses, and began to read. As she did, her expression changed. "This is the heart of a hidden life," she whispered. "Perhaps it would be better if I didn't translate this for you." "Please do," Marcus urged. "I'm beginning to realize we never really knew my grandfather." Greta took a deep breath and began to translate. With each line, her eyes welled up. It was as if she had been transported back to her own youth. "Dear Elizabeth, it has been 6 months since I arrived in Canada. Every day I think of writing to you, but I never know what to say. I cannot forgive myself for leaving you behind in Heidelberg. What you told me that night was true. I was a coward. After losing my family, the fear of losing you as well paralyzed me. But by leaving you, I hurt you even more. I have built a new life here. I'm working in construction, living in a small apartment. Everything is as we once planned, except that you are missing. If I ever find the courage to send this letter, I want you to know this: I still love you. I love you every single day. And if you can forgive me, I want you to come to Canada. I want you to marry me. I know I am asking for a lot. Perhaps it is far too late. But if you still feel something for a man who ran away so heartlessly, please write back. Forever yours, Benjamin." When Greta finished the letter, the room was silent. Patricia's eyes were filled with tears. "Your father never married," Patricia said. "When he met my mother in 1968, he was single. We always thought he had been alone all along." Marcus held the letter in his hand. "So, this Elizabeth, she was my grandfather's first love. and he left her in Germany. But he never sent the letter, Greta said. He kept it for 60 years. Why do you think he didn't send it? Patricia asked. Greta shrugged. Fear, perhaps. Or shame. In the 1960s, sending a letter and waiting for a reply could take months. Maybe he couldn't bear the weight. Marcus examined the envelope. He paid for postage but never had it stamped. He must have taken it to the post office, then changed his mind at the last moment. So what do we do now? Patricia asked. Marcus thought for a moment. We could try to find Elizabeth. That evening, Marcus began searching online for Elizabeth Muller, a woman living in Heidelberg in 1964. But it was such a common name, hundreds of results came up. Yet the 1964 address provided a clue, Hauptstrasse 42. Marcus checked the address on Google Street View. The building was still there, a small apartment block. He then started checking the Heidelberg municipal records. German bureaucracy was meticulous. They had even digitized phone directories from the 1960s. 2 days later, he found it. Elizabeth Miller, born in 1940, Hauptstrasse 42. According to the records, she married in 1967 and took the surname Schneider. Her husband was Klaus Schneider. Marcus dug deeper. Elizabeth Schneider had a daughter in 1970, Anna Schneider. Anna was still living in Heidelberg, married, with the surname Weber. I found Anna Weber, Marcus told his mother over the phone. She's Elizabeth's daughter. If her mother is still alive, she must be 84 years old. Are you going to write to her? I don't know. This is very personal. Maybe it would disrupt their lives, but Marcus couldn't let go of his curiosity. That night, he found Anna Weber's Facebook profile. In her photos, there was an elderly woman. It was hard to be certain, but this could be Elizabeth. He was torn between the desire to uncover the unknown and the fear of intruding into a stranger's privacy. At last, he made up his mind. He sent Anna a message in English. Hello, Anna. My name is Marcus Williams, and I live in Canada. While clearing out my grandfather's house, I found an unsent letter from 1964. It was written to your mother, Elizabeth. The reason I am reaching out is that I believe this letter might belong to you or your mother. If you wish, I can send you a photo of the letter. I truly don't want to disturb you, but I think I may have reached the right person. Sincerely, Marcus Williams. 2 days later, Anna replied. She had read the message 3 times and spent days thinking before telling her mother. Dear Marcus, your message shocked me. My mother, Elizabeth, was indeed born and raised in Heidelberg. I knew she had some connection with a Canadian man in the 1960s, but she never spoke of the details. My mother is still alive, 84 years old. She's a bit frail, but her mind is still very clear. Could you send me a photo of the letter? I will show it to her. We are eagerly waiting for this story to unfold. Anna Marcus sent photos of the letter. 3 days later, Anna replied with a long email. Dear Marcus, when my mother saw the letter, she started crying. She remembered Benjamin. She even confessed that she had been in love with him. In 1963, Benjamin had come to Heidelberg to work. He was employed at a construction company, and my mother was a secretary. They spent 6 months together. My mother fell in love with him, and Benjamin seemed to feel the same. But in early 1964, Benjamin suddenly decided he would go back to Canada. My mother had proposed marriage to him, but Benjamin was afraid. He told her, I'm not ready yet. After Benjamin left, my mother waited months for news from him. None ever came. In 1967, she met my father, and they married. But she never forgot Benjamin. My mother's asking, did Benjamin live a happy life? Did he marry? Did he have a family? If you'd like, we could arrange a Skype call. My mother would love to see you. Anna Marcus was thrilled. Patricia was curious as well. That weekend, they arranged a Skype call. When Elizabeth Schneider appeared on the screen, Marcus held his breath. She was old, but her eyes were still bright. Anna was beside her, translating. Elizabeth spoke in German, and Anna translated. A face that had defied time appeared on the screen, aged, yet dignified. In the background, the ticking of an old clock filled the silence. My mother says she remembers Benjamin. He was very handsome, very kind, but he was deeply afraid of life. Marcus showed her photographs of his grandfather. Elizabeth's eyes filled with tears when she saw them. Anna continued, "My mother says Benjamin's family had died in the war. That's why he was afraid to form new bonds. But she loved him." Patricia asked, if she had received the letter, would she have come to Canada? Elizabeth thought for a long time before replying. Anna translated, "My mother says she might have. She loved Benjamin, but life unfolded differently. She was happy with my father. You were born. Everyone found their own path." "What does she want to know about my grandfather?" Marcus asked. Elizabeth's questions were these. Had Benjamin lived a happy life? Had he had a family? Patricia answered, "My father was a good man, very hard-working, respectful. He married my mother, built a family, but there was always a bit of melancholy in him." Elizabeth nodded. She understood. A silent understanding spread across the screen. The past had seeped into the present moment. At the end of the conversation, Elizabeth said something. Anna translated, "My mother says she would have been so happy to receive that letter. Knowing that Benjamin never forgot her brings her peace. But now it's too late. They each lived their own lives." Marcus asked, "Does she want us to send the original letter?" Elizabeth's response was clear. "Yes. That letter was written to me. Even after 60 years, I want to hold it in my hands." Marcus sent the letter to Heidelberg via special courier. 3 days later, Anna sent back a photo. Elizabeth was holding the letter in her hands, smiling. But some letters travel not from hand to hand, but from heart to heart. That week, Marcus went to the Goethe Institute in Toronto. He told the story to his German teacher, Frau Weber, who, coincidentally, had the same last name as Anna. As she listened, Frau Weber's eyes welled up. "This story is not just about your family," she said. "Many German families in Toronto went through similar experiences. People who migrated to Canada in the 1960s left behind their loves too." Frau Weber suggested, "We could organize a small event in the Little Germany Neighborhood Association. We could read Elizabeth's letter. Maybe other families would share their own stories as well." Marcus hesitated. "It's very personal. But stories like these shouldn't be forgotten. Migration histories are not just tales of success, but of loss as well." 2 weeks later, a small gathering was held at the German Cultural Center on Danforth, titled Unsent Letters. About 30 to 40 people attended. Most were elderly, most of German descent. Marcus told the story. He showed Elizabeth's photo. He shared a picture of Benjamin as a young man. He read the letter aloud in German. Frau Weber had taught him the pronunciation, then gave the English translation. The audience was silent. Some had tears in their eyes. Then a woman stood up. "My name is Ingrid," she said. "I came from Hamburg in 1962. I, too, wrote a letter I never sent to a boy named Hans. I still think of him." Another man stood up. "Wolfgang, 1965, from Munich. I still have the letter I wrote to Anna Berger. It has been in my house for 59 years. That evening, 6 people shared similar stories. All had come to Canada in the 1960s. All had left a love behind. All had written letters they never sent. Frau Weber suggested, "Perhaps we could send those letters now." "It's not too late." Ingrid shook her head. "Hans must be about 80 years old now. Maybe he's married. Maybe he has passed away. But maybe he still wonders," Marcus said, the same way Elizabeth wondered. By the end of the evening, 4 people agreed to bring their letters. Frau Weber promised to use her contacts in Germany to help find the recipients. 3 months later, Marcus received a phone call. It was Ingrid, crying. "We found Hans," she said. "His wife passed away 5 years ago. He lives alone in Hamburg. When he read my letter, he cried. He remembered me." "What did he say?" "We talked on Skype. He said, 'Ingrid, I have thought of you for 60 years. Next month he's coming to Toronto to visit me.' Wolfgang had a similar experience. They couldn't find Anna Berger, but her daughter wrote him a letter about her father. Anna had passed away 10 years earlier, but before she died, she had spoken of Wolfgang to her daughter." 6 months later, the German Cultural Center hosted a second gathering, titled Voices Found. This time, 80 people came. Local CBC radio covered it. It didn't go viral, but within Toronto's German community it became well known. For Marcus, this meant more. His grandfather's story wasn't being watched by millions online, but it was changing real lives. Elizabeth was still living in Heidelberg, 84 years old. Anna and Marcus exchanged letters once a month, handwritten the old-fashioned way. At the German Cultural Center in Toronto, there was now a small exhibit called Unsent Letters. Benjamin's letter was there too, in its original form. Visitors could read it and recall their own stories. From this experience, Marcus learned something. The most powerful stories are not the ones that go viral on social media, but the ones that connect real people to each other. This story teaches us, sometimes the letters that are never sent are stronger than those that are. Because they are not just words, they are silent witnesses of hearts that could not be delivered, of emotions that could never be spoken. And that testimony can still change lives, even 60 years later. At People's Journal Stories, we bring forgotten letters and lost tales to light. Has your family ever had a letter that was never sent? Share it in the comments.